When Hollywood calls someone a coward, you can be sure that their intention is cold-blooded murder. The depravity and serial sadism that we're witnessing in Gaza has been familiar to me from Israelis and their allies, particularly the Peter Gabriel people, for a long time. They're conditioning media to determine my state of mind based on their fabrications. They admit not one material fact of evidence. They actually dared to call and got away with in this horrifying police state of the celebrity class. They dared to say an implanted neuroplasm rapid eye movement of being kidnapped as a child was evidence of date rape many years later when the girl was a virgin, when we broke up and untouched and denied it herself. They dared to do that. I worked in a medical library in 1984 and I saw things that were truly horrifying. Cadavers of men, white men, who died of AIDS before there was any medicine. Moon Unit Zappa throws poison and terror and contagion in my face. They've used anthrax on me. They poisoned me in the mouth. They've given me Parkinson's, diabetes. They've chemically castrated me. They've experimented with anthrax politically. And they were studying diabolicism and immunogenetics in the 70s when the letters arrived. The evidence, which has never been admitted by any civil authority, shows that they had planned to claim that I was to blame for John Lennon's murder as a bookbinder story, a fable for our times. They said that I was chinning, huffing and puffing for a girl's virginity who was rubbing it in my face. A Chaucer beard story. And in fact, claim they found this story that they had all lewdly planned out. When in fact they actually wrote it and it was never reviewed. There was never any trial. They rip and murder people on the side for terror purposes. They played a game of shoot this, shoot that, shoot this, shoot that. And everybody knows the Seattle Green Party sees it as a barbecue. They murdered my father in Pittsburgh. And it wasn't just black people. It was a Dominion gang from the celebrity superstate. What I tried to do was warn people so that they would follow good advice in caring for one another and not get into high-risk situations. The leader of this attacker group called her publication industry high risk. They were mandating high risk. None of this 6 feet apart or 6 feet under jazz. They were saying down to Cornell West, if you wash, will be offended. They wanted it to spread. And they pretend that they're defending the dignity of the victims. Moon Unit Zappa is so criminally insane that I can't understand how she has succeeded in making my life a 24/7 surveillance nightmare. But Trump and Biden have allowed this to happen under the auspices of David Jeffens' Confederate slime bag menagerie. They were saying things like, stick it in your mouth. They made it an act of fetish harassment to give me a colonoscopy wig. And Clint Eastwood says it's getting his friends over their hurdles. Well, They call him man Clint Hurdle. That's how they communicate. They don't come out of the closet about it. They're implying everything. Implied this, implied that. Oh, you naughty implicator. I was trying to nail down that there was a problem so that people would be warned. They were saying things like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts and one size fits all. That's not a respectable opinion. I gather it's sold quite well in Gaza where people are monogamous by conviction. But one size fits all and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It means that they have the record to sell to everybody and hands off the attempts to entertain the tragedy. It was Brian Eno's music for genocides crowd. Music for genocides. We get to see his music for genocides in Gaza too. These are all friends of Mick Jagger. Don't be fooled. Roger Waters and Mick Jagger are on the same slapstick, slapping five at the barbershop quartet of Peter Gabriel team when it comes to Gaza. Don't be fooled. Anyway, Lennon Sudini was to make this play work. They followed the script. They said, oh, it was Reagan getting even on Jimmy Carrey for framing him. A mutual fish. You know, this is people like Tom Harkin swear by this. And they tried to ally me with the man who ruined my family's relationships. They tortured me, ruined my life, and terrorized me and gassed me and is insanely stalking me with this gang from Pittsburgh to the police state, threatening to kill me. I'm certain to die an early death. Parkinson's causes you to aspirate and suck in bacteria and you eventually die of pneumonia. And the preconditions of that are already happening to me. They had poisoned me in the mouth so that the gum creates more saliva, and they poisoned me in the stomach so there's more acid reflux. So basically, the Zappas are murdering a witness to their war crime. That's what they're doing. And they're trying to sell it as you're afraid of Cornel West touchy blood. If you wash, we'll be offended. We should wipe our boogers in your food. This is their nightmarish mentality because they believe that there's a constant state, steady state. They don't believe that there's any such thing as abuse of a trauma victim. They think that's funny. This is the people who call themselves Amnesty International, by the way, raping and torturing and murdering with the most Ripper Hatter displays of sadism in Ripper Hat. They'd slash and murder a girl right outside the clubhouse, left her in a pool of blood, and called it Amnesty International, the Green Party, and so on and so forth. Shot up the Blue House, the rave scene, just like they did in Israel. And the Zappas say this is the Broadway musical Hair's political philosophy. They hired an attorney named Amanda Harcourt to see it through, while claiming, I dare say through the whole thing, things like, I love you, man. And they say things like, don't you look away, don't you dare look away. They're doing Gaza for kicks, don't you dare look away. And Obama had in mind free death, hospice labor. Your buddy program, you slept with them, you take care of them. You had a girl named Linda Hare Ington and a guy named Ben Byington, who was the one guy who actually had a pistol in Highland Park when we were children, by his bedside. Byington, buy her a ring. Byington Harrington, buy her a ring. Nabucco's stupid code about what boys should do and girls should do. And Obama's gig with this double suicide, double fantasy, Japanese tradition. And it is a Japanese tradition. They used the disabled to clean up toxic waste. Why shouldn't Clint Eastwood use the disabled to clean up his wartime strategies? But he's the victim, remember. He loves them. John Lennon was your spirit. He was your martyr. He was your Messiah. He was your Muhammad.